10. Now you start the recording. So Wednesdays are connect to collaborate. And there's a reason why we do this. There's a reason why we do highly recommend people come to this Wednesday event. And that's because as we have come from offices historically for most of us, it's just nice to get here and connect. Whether you have a question or you just want to spend some time with us, I am going to say, a good friend of mine who's a business coach always says you should force multiply. Anytime you're doing one thing, if you're able to do a second thing without split focus, then it's of greater value. So bringing questions to this event, or as questions come up as we're talking about something, is your best use of what we're doing. 2025 is all about changing the way we think about the things we do. We're already 1/12 of the way through the year. Can you believe it? We're 1/12 of the way, well, in 3 days, 1/12 of the way through the year. I know Jeff was just checking the calendars. Yeah, are we really? Yep, we're 1/12 of the way through the year. And if you haven't mentally shifted yourself into 2025 and you're still in 2024, then I want you to look at the ratio. You're now 13 months in 2024 and you only have 11 left in 2025. Remind you of a couple things to just begin to set our mindset, and then we'll turn it over to Tim and Sean to sort of host as we go, because Jeff and I have appointments that we're going to eventually get to. But I want to remind everybody that we always hear the statement that, you only live once, but that's not true. You only die once. You live every day if you consider it a new day. And so I am going to cross a new milestone in age in 5 days, 4 days. Wait, today's Wednesday, Thursday,
70?
Friday, 4 days.
70, I think.
So. I will, 70. Good for you. Right. I will cross the age. And I want you to know that I had an epiphany 10 years ago in 5 days at 10 a.m. in the morning when I was turning 55 years old. And I posted it on Facebook, and I will do it again when I'm 65 years old in 5 days, 4 days. And it will, by the way, I keep reminding you it's my birthday because I love gifts. But besides that, let me tell you the story. Eric Golden, you can find me and my phone number, if gift cards, anything, I'm happy to receive. But that being said, that's not why we're here. In 4 days, I'll be 10 years old, because I decided at the age of 55 that I had a really good 55 years. And I've only had two real, what I would call negative things that happened in those 55 years. I had a divorce that I wasn't intending, nor does anybody care to. When it comes to divorces, it was probably about as good as any divorce you can have, but it was still a divorce. Have two kids that affected them for sure. We don't know how. We'll find out at some point when they blame it on us. The second thing is I lost my parents 2 weeks apart when I was 29 years old, unrelated. And so I didn't live at this point the majority of my life with my parents, which is super, super saddening for me. Now, at this point, they'd be 90 something or 89 and 90 something. So I guess it'd be more difficult for me. So there's a value if there's a value. But those are the two catastrophes in my life in 55 years. So I decided to do two things that most people don't do. I'm recommending you try to think about doing these things. Number one is I wanted to relive those 55 years again. Most people don't try to do that. If you're not happy with your first 35 years or 45 years or 55 years, then relive them in a happier format. Here's the second thing I did that nobody does. I decided to, instead of doing what most people do, go from 55 back down to 1, I decided to start at 1 again and act and think and feel like I was brand new to the world. So 4 days from now, I'm 10. And I'm as youthful in my mind. I'm physically coming back to the body. And I'm excited about the next 45 years if I don't get hit by a bus or get dropped by a plane. I want you to understand that that's the way life can be lived. And no matter what's going on in your life right now, to set the stage for this Wednesday, Connect to Collaborate, you can make today anything you want to make it. None of you will break your leg, but if you do, there's a negative feeling in breaking your leg, and there's the most positive of negative feelings in breaking your leg. So go out there and break a leg. Sorry, that's acting. Go out there and make today the absolute best it can be, because the only person that's going to do that is you. We live brand new every day in our thoughts. If we're not renewing our thoughts, we're not going to renew our lives. So with that said, it is connect to collaborate. We had an unbelievable yesterday with Andy Hollis. Did a tremendous job on YouTube training. He's got a course out for all of our Freedom Team people.
Yeah.
It's half price compared to what everybody else in the real world's paying. You want to find out more information about that? Andy is here today. You can ask a question in the chat box. He'll pop on. And he did do a free giveaway yesterday of a $6,000 program. And Mr. Toy Trong won that because he was present.
Woo-hoo!
And that was his present. Now, I'll leave you with this last statement. I think it's really important. As we came on today, one of the first persons on was Toy, and another brand new person on was Tim and Sean, and Jeff was with us. And immediately one of you, I think Tim did, Tim said, Toy, it looks like you're already in there beginning to do things. And Toy said, that's right, I got it. I got to get moving on it. And I want you to know one of the biggest mistakes realtors make is you come to any kind of class, Zoom, conversation, looking for morsels of greatness, looking for golden nuggets, looking for the secret sauce. And then today you're going to hear something that you go, that's really good. But if you don't put it into action today, it will be buried by content tonight and tomorrow morning. So I highly recommend, if you hear something today, that you go ahead and act on it today. And with that, we open up Connect to Collaborate. Jeff, how's your life?
Good. Things are good. Something I wanted to bring up, because I'm seeing this. We had a call 2 weeks ago from some buyers, and they were looking at new builds. We had them under contract in, 3 days. It's a spec home that just needs some final touches. It'll close the end of February. But with the $60,000 of incentives that the builders were offering, we got the rate down to 3.25%. And that's out there.
Wow.
I just saw an article yesterday that was posted online. She used to be our state broker here in Colorado. And she posted a thing about how, new home sales hit highest level since 2021. And I'm seeing that more and more. When we were there working with these people that day, this was a Tuesday, 2 weeks ago. And the sales rep that we were working with at Richmond Homes, we were the 6th contract she had written that day. It's a Tuesday.
Wow.
It wasn't a Saturday or Sunday. It was a Tuesday. They are busy. And I think just to put it out there, I think it's something to think about. I've seen a few realtors here locally posting online, like on Facebook, like big and bold, whatever, 3.5% interest rate. I can get you there. You can get a new home. Contact me. Just different things along that line. I haven't done that, but it makes me wonder if their phone's ringing, or what kind of marketing could be done with something like that. Because, our regular listings are starting to pick up. We had 2 homes go under contract last week. We got a new one we're putting on tomorrow, about 600,000 here in the Springs. I'm excited for that one. But the builders right now, with some of the incentives that they're offering, and I know this is nationwide, it's just, there's a lot of things that could be done with that and to market to that. And those are pretty easy deals when you get right down to it. They handle everything. We're going to get our inspector in there and all that kind of stuff, but it's just, they write the contracts. They do everything, And so it's something to think about in terms of just getting some things going right now. If you're kind of stuck, to call local builders, find out what they're offering, and to put together even like a landing page with KV Core. That was a thought that I had, do a landing page. Doesn't cost anything. We had a whole training on how to do landing pages. And you could do a whole landing page based on that right there, and some of those incentives, without giving the names of the builders away and all that kind of stuff. Just here's all the different incentives, put it on a page, and now market that page. Put the link to that page in your email signature. Get that out there as many ways and options as you possibly can. Do some videos talk about with Andy what we did yesterday. Like go out to some of those new neighborhoods and just do a few walkthroughs on your cell phone. Keep it simple. Do a minute-long video just walking down the street with all that construction going on behind you, whatever. Hey, I'm at one of the new build neighborhoods here in Colorado Springs. You won't believe what's going on out here. 3.25% into a brand new home. Guys, you need to call me, get in touch with me. I'll put all my contact info in the link below, whatever. I mean, there's so many ways you could work that, and it will get the phone ringing if you're consistent with it. Post it one time, you might get one or two things. Post it consistently every day, multiple times a day, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, like all these different things. It just got me thinking, like, man, how much could you do with that to bring in some now business? The builder
related to that, can we bring in a training on it too? We haven't had a training on new builds and that sort of thing, how to market new build. Because for many agents, especially I've been talking to, not that I prefer to, but brand new agents over the last couple of weeks. I've talked to 2 or 3 of them. And when it comes to lead generation, open houses, sphere of influence, they have very little at that point, other than if they have lots of friends or social media. But open houses are great for a brand new agent, and marketing of new builds is a great opportunity. So Jeff, I don't think we've had anybody talk about how to market aggressively new builds, especially with what you just said. I just texted my wife. She's in the other room doing a project right now. I just texted her, ask me about a 4.5% mortgage fee, right? Percentage. And she sent me a message back saying, what? And again, she doesn't know what we're talking about. But the idea is it got her attention. What? And so if we can figure out somebody that can talk about that, and I know Sean Corbett is focused on that pretty aggressively right now as well. So reaching out to him and asking him if he'd do a class on it, I think he'd be willing to. If you got somebody else, that would be as well. So let's look forward to doing one of those sometime some Tuesday in the near future.
For sure, we could do something. There is a training. I'll find it. I'll put it in here. We had a guy. It's probably been 5 months ago now, maybe, but we did have a guy come in, and it's a good training to watch. He worked with new builds as a new build. He was in the offices with new builds for 15 years before he got his real estate license and started doing residential sales. So he did a whole training on some of that, on how to market, but also on, how to train your clients on why they need to be represented at new builds, and all the different ins and outs. You could do a seminar. You could do a virtual seminar, and you could market like a Saturday morning, 9 a.m. first new home seminar or something, or a first time buyer seminar or something like that. Get a lender on there with you. Get a builder's rep on there with you to talk about that, but have people register so you get those leads. Again, you could do it with a landing page. There's things you could do like that to market something like that, and you get 5, 6, 10, 15 people on there on a Zoom from a 9 to 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and just even taking that training that I just mentioned and explaining to people, educating people on why they need to be represented and how all that works, and whatever. And then even set up some individual appointments with people, with a lender, see what they're qualified for, whatever. And now let's go look at some of these new home neighborhoods, because there's some good deals out there. So anyway, there's all kinds of things. It gets my head spinning a little bit in terms of just thinking on things that could be done there. But when I saw her post yesterday, we're I don't know, it's a big high right now. And just knowing what we went through 2 weeks ago, I was shocked when we were the 6th contract that day that she had written, but it's Richmond Homes. They're nationwide, and they were offering $60,000 of incentives if you use their lender, which everybody tends to use their lender, So yeah, they bought the rate down to 3.25 with that. Pretty cool.
So Jeff, real quick, I put in the chat a video that we did on a local neighborhood here. There's a new construction. The point of it is I went over to do the video in the neighborhood last, let's say, I think it was in August. Anyway, I went over to do the video because I'd seen an advertisement where the lender said, the builder said they had rates as low as 3.99%. And that was back in August.
Yeah.
So I go over to do it. I take a tour of the houses. I'm doing the videos. I call my wife. I said, you got to get over here and see these. This is unbelievable, especially what they're offering. We bought one that day. We now live in it.
Yeah.
And Aileen and I have now sold 7 properties in this neighborhood just from this video
Wow.
that I just put in the
Wow.
chat.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's the builder's offering all these incentives and you can't outrun it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and here's the thing, nobody's marketing it, So to take advantage of that, market it,
Yep.
and get the word out. I'm starting to see it a little bit here. I'll put right here in the chat. Here's the video from that we had here a couple months. It was 5 months ago. That's what I thought it was. So there's that video right there. I just put it in. Why you need a realtor, mastering new home sales. Rob Sandifer was the guy we had on. That was 7 months ago. So it was a while back. But to watch that and just get you thinking, now, how could I market that? A landing page is a great way to do it, because once you create that landing page, then you have it linked up to something. So you capture their email, phone number if you want with those landing pages, but maybe you give them a list. You could go to your KV Core page and do a search of new construction homes, and make that the landing page that they go to. So when they click that link, they come to a list of the new construction homes. Okay. And you can market some of that. So, but again, you're capturing their information. So now you can follow back with them and maybe invite them to your Saturday morning seminar, or you talk to them about what they're looking to do, whatever, and the importance of why they need to be represented, all that kind of stuff. Just have a conversation, meet them for coffee, or go meet at the new builds. Just there's so many things you could do with that, with a landing page, but that's one way, put something behind it, or even put together, like take that training and put together like a PDF of some sort, and you offer that when they click the button on the landing page, all the reasons why they need representation with a new build. There's I don't know, so many different things that gets me thinking, but so no, it's awesome, Andy.
It is. I feel like I'm almost maybe in the dark going, I'm blown away that is even out there. And I'm wondering, not just the people out there that may be looking to potentially buy, but how many potential agents within our entire Freedom Team may not be aware of that.
Sure.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, guys, do we obviously post in workplace, but do we send a text out to the whole group that grabs everybody's attention with that YouTube video link? Are you aware that your customers could potentially get 3.25? I wasn't aware of that. I knew you could go lower, but I didn't think it was that low. Holy smoke, that's amazing. Did
Yeah.
is everybody here aware of that? Everybody that's on the Zoom, that you could go to
Well,
3?
No.
we have a local builder offering 2.99% now, and it's not a buy down. It's not a like a 3-2-1 buy down or nothing. It is for the term of the loan. It's crazy. But
Wow.
I was, it's funny we're having this conversation because I was just sitting here typing into Chat GPT because I was making out a script for a video because I have a whole bunch of drone footage of new construction in this area. And I was just sitting here planning out a video on new construction that we're going to do yet another video, because I have about 20 of them, but we're going to do another video on new construction because the rates have gotten so low, because we have some builders offering 2.99%. So, I mean, it's nuts. And that's an FHA loan with 3.5% down. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, Andy, I just wanted personally, I had to jump off early yesterday. Man, phenomenal. And thank you so much, you, Tim, Aileen, Dave, for taking the time to put all that together and offer it to the Freedom Team. And I hope and pray a lot of folks, we somehow get the message through the 2,000, 3,000 ages. Because what was on there yesterday? 40, 50. I'm just wondering how many have no idea that you guys have put this together that could literally change their life, change their family tree. I think we need to be taking what he just did and on a weekly basis for a month or so, somehow trying to push it through the whole Freedom Team, maybe let the other leaders know, right? Jay and Rob Campbell and those folks to push it through their group. Tim, Andy, I just think, not just for you guys, obviously it'd be an advantage, but for them alone could literally, I mean, literally there could be people on the cusp of getting ready to leave the industry like you did, Andy, and then you have this available and they have no idea that their life could be changed real estate wise by simply plugging into what you guys have taught and begin to implement it. So thank you so much. And Tim, Jeff, I'm serious about that. Watching that yesterday, I always didn't go, how many agents on a group have no idea we're doing this right now?
I know.
That is, I think, one of the best things we've ever offered within the Freedom Team that could change someone's business forever. So thank you guys, and let's figure out a way to continue to push that out to the group. And maybe it's as much as reaching out to the leaders, to Jay Nelson, to the people who got the large groups and saying, man, you need to push this through your group. And I think we could have that thing just explode and bless so many different agents' lives. So again, thank you guys for putting that all together, Andy. That was incredible. Tim, all you guys.
Thanks for that, Sean. We really appreciate it and appreciate the ability to promote something that we've created that, Andy's proven he's a huge success story. He and Aileen in the Gulf Shores market. I mean, it's 25 million in sales in the last 12 months or last 2 years, just from the channel, and 75 million in a pipeline. I mean, I wish I had that much business in my pipeline right
Oh
now.
my gosh. And that again could be a Facebook post that all of us put out there, or at least again, somehow notify all of our agents. But man, it is amazing, Andy, to think there's 75 million in the pipeline. Wow. That's hard to comprehend. When people are struggling to even just get a home sale, and to think you got much in the pipeline is amazing, truly amazing. Well, but back to what this call's about, man. I don't know how many were on there yesterday or anything else that anybody wants to talk about, ask questions about. I mean, you got the man here right now, Andy, that can probably answer any of those questions or just about anything. I know, Jeff, you guys, it sounds like you're about to jump.
I'm here for
Anybody got any questions? Dave, Suzanne, Michelle, all you guys that jumped on here.
Just
Came
a
this morning to
springboard
come listen in, or go ahead.
just a springboard off what we were talking about a minute ago. I just went into my MLS system and I put age equals 0 and active is the status. There's 436 brand new homes in Louisville, Kentucky.
There you go.
436.
That's crazy.
So I'm going to export that list to an Excel sheet. I'm going to sort it by subdivision name. So I've got some unique subdivisions all together. I'm going to get rid of all the dupes and just have a list of subdivisions. And I'm going to call every freaking builder and schedule 8 o'clock every morning next week, because I'm planning to go back to Louisville for a week. I'm just going to schedule interviews with builders. Tell us about your homes. Tell us about your subdivision. And, I don't know how many subdivisions it's going to be, but, maybe I do one at 8, one at 9, one at 10, 5 days next week. I've got 15 videos that I can go out 15 weeks and have posts for the next 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So I think this whole concept is phenomenal. I popped Andy's YouTube video on the subject up for just a minute. He put that in the chat. So if you haven't seen that, copy and paste that in your URL and look at that later. But I think it's a great idea. I'm definitely implementing that.
Oh,
He did yesterday. He implemented.
Last week, I started making some calls after that. I made a few calls, just started calling the builders locally, and just talking to one of the reps and, just told them I'm getting ready to do some marketing, for some of the new builds. I know you guys have a lot of great stuff going on. Can you email me just a list of just all the different incentives that you're offering right now? Can you put something together for me, or do you have a sheet or something you could attach? And like, oh, absolutely. I mean, and so I'm getting these emails from all the different neighborhoods and the builders. Here's all the stuff that they're doing. And so now to take all that and put it into some sort of a PDF or a couple 2-3 page thing that I could then use that even to market, and get that out to people that are looking for some new builds. So, but to go shoot the videos like what you're talking about, Tim, I saw a guy in Dallas, he's with EXP, and he did he had about a minute long video. He was running a Facebook ad for new construction for and he was doing these seminars, and he was getting, 10, 15, 20 people at a time coming into his seminar that he was doing. Had a lender on there, and he would explain and just teach and do all this kind of stuff, whatever. And then he's just marketing these people. Some of them can buy right now, some can't buy for a while, some need to work on credit, some are ready to go. Some are, empty nesters. They're just looking to just downsize, but they want to get into a smaller, but they don't want to, there's so much new stuff out there in all different price ranges. We have a couple here in town I saw the other day, like in the low 300s right now, some brand new, which for us here, for a new home, that's hard to find here, but there's a couple neighborhoods now that are starting to do that. The smaller homes, the trend is going smaller with a lot of the new builds to keep the price down. So you're starting to see that more. You know, people are realizing like, do I really need a 4,000 square foot home? You know, maybe at some point in my life, but right now I don't, you know, and I can go back to but I still want something new and good. I don't want to buy something that's built in 1950 and pay 300. Let me get a brand new one for 300. And, you know, it's 1,800 square feet and it's just my wife and I, and we're good, you know, and you're seeing that trend is starting to really come up right now. Smaller homes at lower prices. So, but brand new. You know?
Question. You guys had mentioned the directions to do a landing page. Is that in the Freedom Team, we'll just say library or whatever for lack
It
of?
is. I will find it. Yeah, let me find it because we had a training on that. Let me go back here and I'll get it. I'll put
I
it.
know, I think I might have watched it way back when, but
I'll,
then I
let me-
didn't implement it, so it didn't
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, and once you do a couple, then it's like, okay, that wasn't so bad. You know, I actually enjoy doing it. It's kind of you get creative with it. It's kind of fun. But
The good thing about it, Jeff, is after you create one, it's there. And so if you ever want to change it up, you can copy that and just change a few things.
Yep.
So you don't have to recreate the whole thing again. I mean,
Exactly.
KV Core is good about saving all that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good for me. For those of you that are advertising new builds, I know like when I went and toured some last week, you know, they had their signs everywhere. And I don't really want, I mean, can I just maybe show the outside of the house or the inside and not have the sign? Because I don't want them going directly, you know, I want them to contact me to find out who has these offers.
There's definitely ways you could do that. You know, just I mean, even to do like a video, like just like let me show you what 350,000 can get you in a new construction home, and just even start right at the front door and just be walking through. You don't have to give them even the neighborhood or the builder or nothing, but do here's what you can get for 450. Here's one that brand new for just maybe do like
Okay.
a little, almost like that kind of thing, and just the way it's however you shoot it and edit it, but you have to do that, but. I think to emphasize to people, they just don't know, and that's where that other training that Rob Sandiford did for us, where it's just the importance of being represented and and he talked a lot about how to market that, how to market to get people to come to you before they go to the builder, or to educate your buyers before they go to the builder how much they need to be represented.
Is that the one you put the link in
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah, it's there. Andy, you're gonna say
Okay,
something
thank
about
you.
that?
And Jeff, I was going to mention too, like what we did on our video is the video for the new construction neighborhood that I actually live in. When I talked to the builder, she said, well, the builder was offering $10,000 or $12,000 worth of builder cash to use any way you want to, whether that's buying appliances or what have you.
Right.
But there was an additional $2,000 if you made an appointment online and you mentioned whoever's representing you, whether you're being represented or not. So when in the video, I just said this builder's offering $12,000 worth of dealer cash right now, and we have a way you can get an additional $2,000, but you got to contact us to find out how. And that's what I said in the video, and it worked obviously because we've sold like 7 houses in this neighborhood. So it's
I like
crazy.
that, Andy. Mhm.
Yeah. I just put the link in there for the training we did on landing pages. I might bring her back. She was really good. It'd be good to almost redo that and just even catch up and update on that,
Appreciate
because
it.
there's so much you can do with that. And again, like you said, Andy, once you create one, whatever, it's easy to go in and create new ones. And once you create it, it's done. You could do one you could do all kinds of stuff. You could do one for renters looking to buy, first time buyers, empty nesters. I know for her, I mean, if you go to her channel on YouTube, she's got like, I don't know, a couple hundred landing pages that she's created over time. And you can reuse them all the time. Just pull them out and just reuse them, It's a simple thing to do once you start doing it. So, but yeah, that link is in there as well, how to do that. So.
And for those of you that are scared to do videos, and I know there's people on this call that are scared to do
Hey.
videos, this is a great way to practice and get started. Pick 3 neighborhoods in the eastern side of your town and go to 3, 4, 5 different neighborhoods, whatever it is, and just walk around talking to your camera, just like you were talking to a client if they were right there next to you. I mean, that's all it is. Leave the mistakes. Don't worry about editing until later. If you screw up, just start that sentence over. I mentioned that yesterday on our training. You know, just start the sentence over. You don't have to create a script and go out there and memorize 2 or 3 paragraphs and try to regurgitate it and then mess up, because you will fumble. But just be natural. Picture yourself, you're walking down the street with a couple, showing them the neighborhood. You're not scripted. You're not reading anything. Just talk about the neighborhood and talk about what 450,000 will buy. And that's approximately a 3-bed, 2-bath with on a slab, a 2-car garage at 2,300 square feet. You know, and now I'm going to take you to another neighborhood in the same general price range. And, you know, you could have a 300 to 400 price range video and whatever neighborhoods you can show them in that, and then create a 400 to 500 price range and a 5 to 750 or whatever. And all of a sudden you've got, you know, several different really awesome videos. And when I tour a neighborhood and put that on my YouTube channel, those are some of the most watched videos I can possibly do. So I'd encourage everybody to do what I just did. Go to your MLS, sort for ages 0 or built in 2024, 25, whatever, and just figure out what all those neighborhoods are, and just go start shooting video. You don't need a builder. You don't need a permission. If you can add to it the incentives, if they have any, you know, go to the larger builders that have incentives. And Suzanne, just don't talk about it. You know, I'm here in Eastern Jefferson County, just outside, you know, 15 minutes outside of Louisville, Kentucky proper. And we're going to look at 3 different neighborhoods today. And now I'm in this neighborhood and here's a house. We're going to do a quick tour. And, you know, the asking price on this house is X with the builder incentives, your payment and 20% down, your payment would roughly be this. I'm going to interview a mortgage lender on one of my upcoming videos. So make sure you like and subscribe, and so you'll be notified when I have that video up, so you can hear all this from the lender perspective. And there's so much you can do.
So are these all on YouTube, or can I do a little full thing on YouTube? Or because I have a YouTube, but I have not posted anything to it.
Well, I would first watch yesterday's training, and we're biased on YouTube because you can put content on YouTube for free and it properly tagged and with SEO, search engine optimization, and geographical tagging of those videos. I mean, they're going to live forever. If you watch yesterday, Andy said he's got, you know, 10 years worth of prospecting on the videos that he's done so far on his channel. 10 years. That's if you were prospecting 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. He's done all this in the last 2 years. So he's 5x'd the people, the eyeballs that have already seen his videos. This is not even talking about how that compounds every single year. I mean, he's probably got 50 years of prospecting a year from now. It compounds so much. But yeah, we put everything on YouTube.
Thank you.
And then if you want to put stuff, I mean, put it on Google My Business, put it on Facebook, but Facebook doesn't like YouTube. So don't post the video as your video in Facebook. Just put a link to the video as the first comment, and that'll allow Facebook to not notice it, and it'll still drive people back to your YouTube channel, which is where you want it, because that lives forever.
Thank you.
Not hearing you, Jeff.
Did that make sense, what he just said right there to everybody as far as Facebook? You don't want to post, like, you don't want to just post a YouTube video on Facebook. Facebook doesn't like that. The algorithms will take that way down, and your engagement will go way down. You can post like a picture or something, do a picture of some sort that would maybe remind, like, here's what this is going to be about, and have your post, whatever, and just click the link below in the comments to watch the video. And now take your first comment, post it, and then in your first comment, now post the YouTube link down there. That doesn't mess up the algorithms with Facebook, but Facebook and Google, they don't go together. Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook. They don't want you leaving and going to YouTube. Okay, so.
And that's true on all the platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than Facebook and Instagram, they like each other because they're kind of one and the same.
They're owned by the same company. Yeah. I want to share real quick. I want to show you guys this because I mentioned it yesterday, but kind of along the same line. This is James and Maris. I talked about them yesterday. Just to share this real quick, guys, because even like with new construction, Now they did a funnel, but a landing page is a funnel. Any kind of you post a Facebook post out there or something and get people commenting on there, you've essentially got a funnel. You know, and that's essentially what it is. What are you going to do with those people that are commenting? They want to know more about how they can get 3.25% interest rate on this home, whatever. But this couple here, I just want to emphasize, because they were brand new agents 2 years ago, 3 years ago, brand new agents, brand new market, zero sphere, and they built this YouTube channel from scratch. Now, you know, again, they have, if you look at this, I mean, there's no fancy graphics, there's no fancy music, anything like that. Andy can teach you all kinds of stuff that will make this even better. But I just want you to see, like, they're just, this page is so simple. They're EXP agents out in Fresno, California. They've now got 2,000 subscribers, 1,000 videos. They did $409,000 their very first year in real estate from new construction. Okay, I want you to see one of their videos. This is one. Like, look, here, hold on a second. I'm gonna share the sound just so you see it. He's in his shorts and tennis shoes. She's filming him on his wife, Maris, is filming him on the iPhone. You know, sometimes some of these videos, you'll see her shadow on the ground with the iPhone following. It's just, there's nothing fancy about any of it. And that's what we think we have to get behind a green screen and do all this fancy music and graphics and all this crazy stuff, which, yeah, it's going to help your videos, but it's not necessary either to make it work. I mean, listen to how he does this.
Buddy, it's your boy James. Today we're going to be touring the Boardwalker, guys. 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 3,385 square feet, over 2-car garage. Let's go ahead and do a really quick walkthrough of this property real quick, just so then I can show you guys. Guys, the Boardwalker is currently going for around $563,000. This is the next generation home, right? As you walk in, we have a nice little formal living area. You can put your little coffee table right there.
And this is what he does for the next 6 minutes. They just walk through the whole house. That's it. Nothing fancy at all. But they did $409,000 their first year in business from that channel and new construction.
And every one of you do that every single day, showing buyers properties. You're just talking to air instead of a human being.
And right now with this market and everything going on, I'm just saying, like, there's so much business out there right now. If we can just learn how to market and find the business, the best marketer wins. We say it all the time. It's all about the marketing. What are you going to do to get the word out that you've got access to this kind of stuff, you know, and why they need to work with you and bring the people in. I mean, so I just put the link to their YouTube channel here in the chat as well, just so you guys have it. But I would tell you, just go through and scroll through some of their videos. I mean, you know, some of them are 14 minutes long, some are 6 minutes long. They don't have any shorts. It's just, you could, and you do that, you could do a playlist of price ranges. You could do playlists of neighborhoods or parts of town. You could do playlists of all kinds of stuff you could come up with that. And then combine it with what Andy talked about yesterday, you know, and all the stuff that he's been able to do. I'm just telling you, man, you could take this and go to whatever level you want to go to. You'll be bringing people onto your team because you have too much business. I really believe that.
Jeff, do you still have that video open on a screen?
Yeah.
Would you reshare it again for just a minute, please?
Yeah, here, hold on a minute. Actually, I closed it, but I've got it right here.
I want to see the analytics over to the right.
Okay, let me see here. Which
just go ahead and click on it again.
This was the video right here.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy James. Today we're going to be touring the Boardwalker, guys.
Let's see here. And I don't know, where would is it right there?
There we go. Yeah, close the channel insights. Just look at Videolytics there, right there.
How do I close that? Oh, I see right there. Okay.
But here's my point, ladies and gentlemen. If you were showing this house to a client, you'd spend 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in there. He spent 6 minutes and 13 seconds total. One time, 7,910 people saw it. That's the power of YouTube.
It's crazy.
One tour that you do with one buyer, and if you had 10 buyers, you'd do it 10 times. One tour, 7,910 views. That's why we're all in on YouTube, because it doesn't cost a penny to advertise. You just got to put out good content that is informational, that people are interested in, and you'll figure out what they like and what they don't like. And that's going to steer you on what kinds of videos you do going forward. But 7,900 to 1, ladies and gentlemen, that should make an impact if nothing else we've said all day that has. That's all. Thanks, Jeff.
And to prove, just to add to that point, Tim, this is not a short video. So it's not somebody with a short attention span that's watching these videos that's just kind of scrolling through looking for the funniest cat video they can find. This is somebody who 7,910 people have watched that video who are interested in buying new construction in California. I mean, that's the point, you know, that they've really watched the video, and I'll bet you they've gotten, there's no telling how many phone calls off of that. If it wasn't on that house, it's just something else, you know, because they're like, oh my God, you must know all about this area of California because you did this video. So I'm going to call you, you're an expert. And that's what it gets across.
Yeah. I noticed on there, the SEO score was 100, you know, and that's where Andy comes into play. And that's where Tim comes into play, and learning how to do all this kind of stuff. That's the advantage of a program like what Andy's put together, because he's learned how to do that, you know? So to be able to get in and plug in with that kind of stuff, because it's one thing to have a video like that, but you get 4 views. You know, they figured out some SEO, they learned all that stuff. You know, and now their channel's up to 2,000 subscribers. And I don't know what they did last year, but I know their first year in business, they did 409,000 as brand new agents with zero sphere. They moved from Portland to Fresno and got their real estate licenses. They knew nobody, ground zero, and started that channel and started going after new construction. They had a funnel to bring people in as leads that they were sending these out to. But again, you can do that without having to set up some big fancy funnel. KV Core landing page is a funnel. A Facebook post is essentially a funnel. Anybody that clicks on that and asks you questions on that and comments, and you're commenting back, you've now got them in, you've got a contact. What are you going to do with that contact? What are you going to send to them? Put them into KV Core and start sending them some. Send them the page of incentives that are out there. Send them links to your YouTube videos, your channel. Send them. You're now, that interaction is going to happen, and next thing you know, they're like, okay, you know, whatever. Yvette, you know, I've been watching your channel, I've been watching your videos, whatever. I need to, we're ready to go look at some new homes, and you're the one we want to have help us. You know, they're setting up a time to talk to you. They feel like they get to know you through that YouTube. It's so much better than just static stuff that we put out there, you know?
Quick question on the YouTube stuff. I have a lender that's doing a class on, you know, improving credit. If I was just going to kind of attend to get some information to help my clients, but things like that, if I record them and kind of include myself somehow, is that worth having on your page, or do you just want yourself type of thing?
No, absolutely. If anything, it adds more credibility when you're inviting somebody else onto your channel that you're interviewing. You're the expert interviewing the subject matter expert. So absolutely do that. I wouldn't record the class. I'd tell that person, hey, you know, after that 1 hour training that you're doing Tuesday, I'm going to be there, but I would love afterwards to spend 15 minutes with you and interview you and promote you and I out on my YouTube channel. Are you okay with that? And of course they're going to say yes. And that's going to be awesome content, all about credit score improvement, or, you know, whatever. And that's where you're going to want to get into the SEO and see what's ranking high and keywords and so forth. And again, you know, Andy's the subject matter expert on that, but that's how you start.
Well, thank you.
And you know, Tim,
Yeah, this was something I was supposed to have done last year, and you know, a whole year went by and I got my page set up. That was it.
And you know, Tim, to piggyback off of that, you know, we use our community page on our Facebook, on our YouTube page, kind of like a Facebook. And so basically, like, we did just what you're talking about. We interviewed a local lender, Sherry Weaver, who was talking about the importance of using a local lender, especially when you're buying a property at the beach, you know, because you know, a lender in Colorado is not going to know how to lend on a condo that's sitting with the Gulf of Mexico, or excuse me, the Gulf of America sitting right here. So, I mean, you have to have a local lender who is an expert in that area. So we were doing a video on that. So I knew I was going to do it 2 weeks in advance. So I put in my community post and I asked my audience, what kind of questions would you want me to ask if she was sitting in front of you? What would you ask her?
That's
And then
awesome.
they filled it up. I had all these questions. So that's what we did the video on, was we said, okay, we're going to take, and we read off the people's names. Karen from Ohio wanted to know blah, 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 and then had Sherry answer it. And it turned out to be a fantastic video. But you could actually do live, video feeds like that on YouTube. You can do a live video, and you could do an interview with them. You could actually set it up where you had people coming in and commenting and asking questions while the lender's there with you. So that's another thing to do. So there's all kind of, I mean, listen, the world is your oyster when it comes to this thing. It's just, excuse me, knowing how to do it the proper way is so that you'll get noticed is the biggest thing.
I see it on your face, Choi. You're chomping at the bit to go out and record something, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Super excited, buddy. Super excited.
I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about starting to sell houses. I sit here, I always say, I think, at least in my opinion, the easiest person to sell is a salesperson. If you find something that blows you away with tremendous value, again, I sit here today and I know I'm the anomaly because I'm not out selling going, this is amazing to me. And I'd be so fired up to go do this if I knew this was available and I was out selling houses. Again, I sit here and go, how many people may not be aware of everything that we just talked about today that's available and tied into what you've just trained on yesterday, you guys? This is awesome. I think it's one of the best trainings I've been to on a Wednesday that could impact somebody's business like now, right now. And how many people in our Freedom Team group are struggling and do not know the information we're discussing right now. So
It's true.
Yep.
You can lead a horse to water.
so true.
Good stuff. Who else has a question, related or unrelated? This is your hour.
I do have just one question.
Go
In
ahead, Tanya.
regards to having a lender available, I have one that comes in and is willing to meet with me like at the new homes. But based off of what I'm hearing, is it better just to have, like you said, just a one-on-one interview with him rather than incorporating him like in a showing?
I don't know that it matters. Personally, I would probably interview them over Zoom, or there's a product called StreamYard that you can get where you've got two screens side by side. It's kind of set up like a studio. You can do that, electronically. You don't have to physically be together. You could be together, but my opinion, and Andy, I'd be interested in yours, but I don't think you have to do it in a house. I think it could be a little bit confusing because what I see it as a segment of lenders. You could develop a whole playlist on your YouTube channel of different lenders that I have used and my clients have used, and I know and like and trust them. And I would see it where I'm interviewing different lenders. I'm going to talk to this one about conventional, and this one about VA, and this one about FHA, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'd do a whole series of lender videos if I were doing it. And keep your neighborhoods and your subdivisions and your home tours separate as well. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. We did the same thing because we had two or three different, there's two or three different local lenders, and you get in a habit of where you're using the same one all the time. But we ran across one guy that had a really strange portfolio of lending programs to where he could, for long story short, he could basically do some stuff that nobody else could do. Aileen actually used him for a property. I won't get into her personal business, but it was a very unique property that she was trying to buy, and no other lender in the world would touch it. But this guy worked it out. So we were like, so we got to interview this guy and have him talk about these special programs. So we did. I mean, it was an hour-long video of him just sitting there talking about the different aspects and the way you could qualify for this loan, this loan, this loan, and what he would do different from other lenders. And when you put that out there, not only does it help you on the channel, but then let's say that you have somebody who says, hey, do you have a good local lender I can contact? And you say, yeah, absolutely, call this guy. And his name happens to be Joey Parker. And we're like, yeah, call Joey Parker. With your situation, he has a program that'll work for you. And instead of them calling Joey not knowing who he is, we send them the video. And then they watch the video. And then when they call Joey, now they feel like they know him. And they're like, they're buddies with Joey. And Joey's like, this is one of the easiest loans I've ever done. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing this video, because everybody we send it to falls in love with Joey, and they go, oh my God, this guy's such a great personality. Then when they pick up the phone and call him, it's like they've known him their whole life, you know? So again, the power of video, just, you know, getting in front of them.
And that was an excellent question, Sonia. I'm so glad you asked it. And thanks for the ad there, Andy. And then you could go back to his Joey Parker and say, hey, you know, this video has been seen, you know, 6,000 times. I'd like to promote it even more. Would you kick in $100 a month, and let's do Facebook ads that drive people to a landing page that brings them to the video that talks about you, and you've talked about me and our partnership. So you've endorsed me, I'm endorsing you. It's this win-win, brother. I've got the audience. Throw a few bucks in the till every month, and all of a sudden you start exploding. That's how you build funnels, teams, and lead gen, and all of a sudden you got more businesses you can handle. I mean, today has been awesome.
So many ways to work that. And it gets me thinking too, like think about the process, like to do an interview with a home inspector and just, and have that set up, and you can turn that into shorts. There's all kinds of things you could do with that. But now you have think about that and just the importance of that, and to be able to send that video out to all your potential buyer clients and all the different things, just like educating people,
Yeah.
But again, you become the expert then over time. Like, my God, there's no way we can't work with Andy or Sonia, whatever. Like, she knows real estate like backwards and forwards. You're just interviewing somebody that, on the home inspection and all the things. It might be a 15-minute video. It could be an hour-long video. I don't know. Get them going. There's so many ways you can use that. Think interview an appraiser. Just talk about that process and what they deal with, and just like there's so many things. Interview somebody interview one of the title reps. Again, nothing exciting about that, but sellers have to deal with that. And what does that look like, and what does all that mean, and what is their role? And there's so many things you could do with that, creating just like you, the expert. Go ahead.
What are typical closing costs I can expect when I buy my home? I mean, there's so much.
Well, let me tell you one of our more popular videos, and I didn't think it was going to be, but we sold a lady who happened to move here from California, and she was, just hated California. She moved to Gulf Shores, works remotely, works for the government remotely. I don't know how that's going to affect her now, but anyway, so she buys a home here. We did a series of videos where we showed her the property. We did a walkthrough. That was one video. We did a video of her sitting at the closing table, closing on the property, and showed the whole process, and had her talk about the lending process and how easy it was using a local lender. Then we went through on her final walkthrough and inspection. We did the video walking through the house with her and showing what you need to look for on your final walkthrough when it's a new construction. So we showed today you're going to see a series of, holding the camera. Today you're going to see a series of green tape and blue tape. And let me tell you what the difference is. So I mean, and literally walk through the house with the guy doing from the builder. And as he's doing it, I'm telling him, well, explain what you just did. And so he would explain what he did. Here's what you do here. Here's what you do here. And I mean, literally the video is an hour and 20 minutes long. And I think on our channel, it's got like 7,000 views. It's nuts. So, but it explains the process, and it eases people's mind when they go, well, what am I going to have to do on a final walkthrough? Well, here's a video. You can watch this and you can see exactly what you have to do.
Great stuff.
Love it.
Andy, you had mentioned segments, like a lender's, like different sections of your YouTube. Would I just Google to find out how to, once I get multiple videos on there, I know I got to add them first, but then how to create different segments within that same YouTube page, or?
Yeah, it's called playlists. All of your
Okay.
similar videos you can assign to a specific playlist. So if somebody's looking for a specific topic like new construction, all the new construction videos are in the new construction playlist or whatever you decided to call it.
Okay, so would I want to, when I start creating, go ahead and create these multiple playlists to begin with? So then when I post a video, then I know, then there's places to upload it to, for lack of another word.
Now, I would wait until you've got 50, 60, 70 videos and then the topics of all those videos, it's going to morph itself into what playlist should I have so I can segment all these together under one
Okay, so
title.
then I can move them after the fact, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And one
At
video
least
could
that's
be
one
in,
thing I can hold off on doing.
one video could be in 5 different playlists. I mean, you can put a video to multiple playlists if it, because some will kind of morph over into other topics, but
Okay,
so you can have up to, was it 10 playlists on your channel, right on your homepage that people see? I think something like that, right, Andy? Yeah. Okay.
Yep, that's right.
So cool. Anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I want to say this for all of us to help promote this in the Freedom Team. Let's post this video.
Yeah.
And then if everybody would take just 2 minutes today or this afternoon when it's posted, go make a comment. If you were kind of blown away by this, just make a comment. All of a sudden, if anybody goes and sees it, and 8, 10, or 12 of us, we never do that, made a comment like, oh my gosh, that was an incredible mastermind. I think we could get the message out there. If people just take a second, write that in your notes this afternoon, jump over to Workplace Freedom Team and just make a comment on this video. If it'll be probably posted later this afternoon, Jeff, you
Yeah,
think?
I'll get it up today.
Yeah,
This is
everybody do that, man. I think that'd be awesome for some traction to help a lot of agents.
Yeah, I just posted Andy's while we were on here from yesterday, so that's now in the channel. Monday's your attraction video from Monday, Sean, that'll be up today as well. So,
And I thought he did a phenomenal job. I don't know if who else saw that Monday. That was,
the one yet. Yeah.
and I know I complimented him 2 or 3 times. His delivery style was very interesting, kind of like I'm talking now. He would pause, go slow, and I found myself leaning forward, going, "What's he about to say?" Which again was a massive just benefit to me, thinking, "Wow, when I make some of these videos or have a Zoom, just slow it down a little bit, emphasize." So anyway, great interview Monday. If you guys didn't see that.
Cool. Well, good. Guys, good to see everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thank you guys again.
Thank
Incredible.
you.
Right.
Thanks,
For sure.
everybody.
Guys, have a great day.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Call us if
you.
you need us. We're here to help. We'll see you.